High above the stars, in the dark space between galaxies, a large warship floated silently. This ship belonged to the Zarnak Empire, one of the strongest and oldest empires in the universe. Inside the ship, the alien commander Xerath stood in front of a large screen, watching a small blue planet, Earth. Xerath had green-gray skin, glowing yellow eyes, and long metal claws on each hand. He was feared across many worlds. He had destroyed planets, ended wars, and ruled with fear. But when he looked at Earth, he smiled, and then laughed. "This planet is a joke," Xerath said, his voice deep and cold. "They are still using oil, fire, and bullets. Their leaders fight like children. Their people care more about money than science. What a waste of space." Behind him, other alien officers nodded in agreement. They had watched Earth too. Some called it a primitive world. Others called it a child planet. No one respected Earth. No one feared it. And no one believed it was ready for the galaxy. But they were wrong. "Send a scout," Xerath ordered. "Let's see how Earth reacts to a simple test. I want to watch them panic." One of his officers bowed and left the room. On Earth, it was just a normal day. People were busy with their lives, working, driving, watching TV, scrolling on phones. No one knew that a silent ship was entering their space. But far away from the cities, deep under a mountain in a secret lab, a woman opened her eyes. Dr. Ilara Stone had been watching too. She was once a famous scientist, working for Earth's global defense team. She was smart, brave, and always one step ahead. Years ago, she warned the world that aliens were real and that Earth was not ready. But no one believed her. They laughed at her, called her crazy, and shut down her project. After that, Ilara disappeared. But she never stopped working. In silence, in secret, she built her own base. She called it the Vault. It was powered by alien tech she had found long ago, tech that no one else on Earth could understand. She trained alone, worked alone, and waited for the day the sky would break. Now, that day had come. Her computer beeped. A red light flashed on the screen. Something had entered Earth's orbit, something not made by humans. "Zarnak tech," she whispered, looking at the signal. "So, they're finally here." She stood up and walked to the center of the room. The vault's lights turned on, revealing walls full of advanced weapons, strange devices, and maps of space. Back in space, Xerath watched as his scout ship moved closer to Earth. It was invisible to human satellites. It sent no radio signals. It was meant to test Earth's defense quietly. But then something strange happened. "Commander," an officer shouted, "we are picking up a signal from Earth." Xerath raised an eyebrow. "What kind of signal?" The officer looked confused. "It's not from human military. It's something else. It's old, very old. Alien code, sir. And it's calling one name." "What name?" Xerath growled. The officer gulped. "Ilara Stone." For a moment, no one in the room spoke. Xerath's eyes narrowed. "That name. I've heard it before." He turned to another officer. "Search the old records. Galactic files. Anyone named Ilara Stone." The officer typed quickly, then stopped. His hands shook. "Commander, she was listed in ancient Zarnak alerts, over 30 cycles ago." "What kind of alerts?" "She broke into a minor Zarnak lab on a forbidden moon. She stole tech, escaped. No one ever found her." Xerath stared at the screen. "You're telling me a human did that?" "Yes, sir. A human woman." Down on Earth, Ilara activated her systems. A powerful energy wave went out into space. Her face appeared on her base's camera, eyes cold, focused. "She's signaling again," the alien officer shouted. "The code is old, but it's clear." "What does it say?" Xerath asked. The officer read it out loud. "I warned you. Now it's too late." Xerath's smile vanished. He leaned closer to the screen. Find her. Now, deep under the Pacific Ocean, hidden beneath layers of rock and steel, the vault woke up. Red lights flashed along the curved walls. Screens lit up one by one. Machines that hadn't moved in years began to hum softly. At the center stood Dr. Elara Stone. She wore a long black coat, her brown hair tied back, her eyes sharp and calm. She wasn't surprised. She had waited for this day. She always knew they would come. Years ago, Elara was the top scientist for Earth's global defense program. She had seen what others didn't. She studied signals from deep space, strange particles falling from the sky, and ruins found on the dark side of the moon. While others called them natural events, Elara saw the truth. Alien life wasn't just out there. It had already touched Earth. She warned the world. She begged leaders to prepare. But they laughed. There's no threat, they said. No aliens, they claimed. You've watched too many movies. So they shut her down. But Elara didn't stop. Using old funding and secret contacts, she built the vault, a place where she could continue her work. Over the years, she collected alien tech, hacked old space probes, and developed defense systems no government knew about. Now, as the Zarnak Scout entered Earth's orbit, the vault's defense AI came to life. Unknown object detected, it spoke. Zarnak energy pattern. Threat level. High. Elara nodded, just as I expected. She walked to a black panel on the wall. Placing her hand on it, she unlocked a hidden chamber. Inside was a strange, silver device, alien in shape, glowing faintly. It was something she had stolen long ago, from a forgotten moon. A device that only responded to her. Activate Helix Protocol, she said. The lights in the room changed to blue. A hum filled the air. Old machines opened, revealing long rods, sharp drones, and glowing cores. The vault was alive now. Elara's face stayed calm. But inside, her heart beat faster. This was it. Far above, on Xerath's warship, chaos had begun. The scout ship had frozen in space. The pilot screamed for help, but no one could hear him anymore. The ship's systems were offline. Its weapons were disabled. A single message flashed across the Zarnak command screen. She's watching. Commander Xerath paced back and forth. How did she do this? He barked. This is Earth. They have no such power. One of his officers spoke carefully. Sir, this human, Elara Stone, she's not like the others. The stolen tech she took from us, it was experimental. She might have improved it. Impossible. Xerath roared. Humans don't even understand quantum drives. The officer hesitated. She might, and she may have built something we never predicted. Xerath's hands curled into fists. No one makes a fool of the Zarnak Empire. He turned to the screen showing Earth. Begin Operation Ashfall. Send hunters. Bring her to me. Alive. Back in the vault, Elara prepared for war. She moved through the base, checking systems. Drones hovered beside her like quiet shadows. She opened a drawer and pulled out a black card, a security key connected to the Helix program. Helix was her creation, the defense AI mixed with alien code. It was faster, smarter, and colder than any Earth machine. When activated, it could protect the entire planet, or destroy a fleet. As she inserted the key, the screen lit up. Helix on and align. Welcome back, Dr. Stone. She smiled. Let's remind them who they're dealing with. Suddenly, the vault's radar pinged. Multiple signals. Fast. Stealth units. Entering Earth's atmosphere. Elara's expression hardened. They're not wasting time. Outside, invisible to most of Earth, strange pods fell from the sky. They landed in oceans, forests, deserts, and even near cities. Each one open to reveal tall, armored creatures, Zarnak hunters. Their mission was simple: find Elara, capture her, and bring her back. But they didn't know where she was. They didn't know that she was already watching them. Each pod's location appeared on her map. The Helix AI tracked their every move. Her drones were already flying to intercept. Ilara spoke quietly, almost to herself. You call us weak, but you don't know what pain is yet. The night was quiet over the forests of northern Canada. The moonlight touched the trees, and animals moved softly in the dark. But something strange had landed. A large black pod stood in the center of the woods, its metal body steaming as it cooled. The pod opened with a hiss. Out stepped a Zarnak hunter, tall and armored. His eyes glowed red through his helmet. His body was built for war, muscles enhanced by machines, hands filled with deadly tools. He scanned the forest with his visor. Commander Xiroth stood frozen on the bridge of his warship. All around him, the control panels flickered, dimmed, then shut down completely. His top engineers rushed to their stations, but nothing worked. No weapons, no shields, no communication. The warship, the pride of the Zarnak Empire, was blind above Earth. What is this? Xiroth growled. What has she done? A hologram flickered in front of him. It was Ilara Stone. Her face was calm. Her voice was soft, but dangerous. You came to my home, uninvited. Now you'll see what Earth really is. The hologram vanished, but on the outside of the warship, small black drones attached themselves silently, crawling like insects across the hull. Back in the vault, deep beneath the ocean, Ilara stood beside her flight chair inside the stealth ship. It was ready, sleek, dark, and shaped like a blade. The ship had no name. It didn't need one. It was a weapon, not a symbol. Helix spoke calmly. All systems ready. Zarnak warships still in blackout mode. Their scanners are offline. Ilara nodded. Initiate Earth's first strike. With a soft hum, her ship rose from its underground hangar. Walls slid open above it. Water rushed in. Then, silence. The ship disappeared into the deep sea. Moments later, it broke the surface, invisible to every sensor, and soared into the sky. It moved faster than any jet, higher than any missile. It flew straight toward the Zarnak warship. On board, Xiroth finally got partial power back. Shields at 20%. A soldier shouted. Weapons offline. A small object is approaching. How small? Xiroth barked. The officer's eyes went wide. It's not even the size of a fighter craft, sir. Then destroy it. But they couldn't. Ilara's ship was too fast, too smart, too human. She flew like lightning, cutting through the clouds, silent and sharp. As she neared the Zarnak ship, she released her payload, EMP darts, designed using alien and human tech. Each dart hit a key part of the warship: engines, weapons, shields. The giant ship groaned as systems failed one after another. Ilara pulled back and hovered just behind the warship's engine core. She opened a channel to Xiroth. Your empire thought Earth was a joke, but jokes don't fight back. Inside, Xiroth clenched his fists. Find her, he shouted. Fire everything. But nothing responded. Then came the final surprise. From Earth, thousands of signal towers, hidden inside satellites, ships, and old weather stations, suddenly activated. These were Ilara's secret network, spread across the world for years. They beamed a message into space, a message the entire galaxy could hear. It was Ilara's voice. To any race listening, Earth is not weak. We do not start wars, but we end them. Back on the bridge, Xiroth could only watch as his systems rebooted, slowly, painfully, and every alien species across the stars began receiving Earth's warning. Earth was no longer silent. Ilara had made sure of that. And now, the galaxy was watching. Meanwhile, on the ground, the remaining Zarnak hunters tried to regroup, but Ilara's drones had followed them. In deserts, jungles, and cities, they fell one by one. Not with loud battles, but with perfect, silent strikes. Their weapons were jammed. Their suits shut down. They were outmatched. In Antarctica, a team of hunters tried to launch a beacon to call for help. But as the device lit up, a shape landed behind them. It was Ilara's drone, shaped like a sphere, glowing softly. It didn't attack. It spoke. "Your commander is compromised. Your mission is over. Leave or be erased." They hesitated. And then, one by one, they dropped their weapons. Back in orbit, Ilara had returned to her vault. She stood before a wall filled with alien symbols. One symbol blinked slowly. It was the Zarnak logo, crossed out with red. Helix spoke. "Enemy ship retreating. Message received galaxy-wide. Over 100 species have opened contact channels. Some offer support." Ilara's voice was calm. "Ignore them. Earth is not ready for friends." Helix asked, "And if they send more ships?" She turned to the screen, where stars stretched into darkness. "Then we remind them, this planet isn't a joke. It's a warning." The galaxy was in shock. Xerath's warship, the pride of the Zarnak Empire, had retreated. Their most skilled hunters were taken out by a single human woman. Earth, a small, seemingly insignificant planet, had shown the strength to fight back. And now, more ships appeared. They were guardian ships, not of Earth, but of an unknown faction. Each was sleek, silver, and enormous. They didn't speak, didn't show any sign of life except for the faint hum of their energy fields. From the surface, humans watched as these ships entered Earth's atmosphere. They didn't fire weapons, didn't land or make any aggressive movements. They simply hovered in orbit. Ilara Stone watched all of this from the vault, her heart racing for the first time in years. She had expected the Zarnak to fight back, but this was different. "Who are they?" Ilara whispered. Helix's calm voice filled the room. "They are not from any known species. They appear as though they've been watching for a long time." "Why now?" Ilara asked, pacing in front of the holographic screens. "It's possible they are testing you, Doctor," Helix replied. Seeing if Earth will stand by its actions, Ilara knew what she had to do. The Zarnak were just one enemy. The galaxy was full of unknowns, more powerful, more dangerous. If Earth was to survive, she needed allies. But who could she trust? Suddenly, her console pinged. A message appeared on her screen. It was not from any species she recognized. "Ilara Stone, you are more than human. We have been watching. Prepare." The message ended as suddenly as it had started. "What was that?" Ilara asked, staring at the screen. Helix analyzed the data. "It's encrypted, but it appears to be a signal from the Guardian fleet." Ilara's eyes widened. The Guardians weren't just observing. They were speaking to her. Meanwhile, above Earth, the Guardian ships hovered in silence. One of them opened a transmission channel. A tall figure appeared on screen. His face was humanoid, but his features were covered by a dark hood. Only his glowing eyes were visible. "Ilara Stone, you have done what no one believed possible. You have awakened Earth." Ilara stood at attention. "Who are you?" The figure smiled beneath his hood. "We are called the Aeon. We have watched your planet for centuries. You are more than what you seem." "How do you know my name?" Ilara asked, feeling a cold chill. "You are the key, Ilara. The Guardian fleet is here not to fight you, but to test you, to see if you are ready." Ilara raised an eyebrow. "Test me for what?" The Aeon's voice was calm, but heavy with meaning. "The galaxy is full of chaos. The Zarnak are only one part of a much larger picture. You and your world have the potential to change the balance of power in the universe. But first, you must prove yourselves." Ilara's thoughts raced. She wasn't sure if she could trust these strangers. "And how do I prove myself?" The Aeon paused. "By defeating those who challenge you. By standing united with the power you possess." On Earth, the people felt the weight of the moment. Across the world, small groups began to form. Military leaders, scientists, ordinary citizens, they all came together. The message had spread far and wide. Earth had fought off the Zarnak. But now, a new challenge was on the horizon, and no one knew what the Guardians would ask of them. In the deserts of the Middle East, a group of engineers had already begun working on new tech, smaller versions of the stealth ships Ilara had used. These new ships would be easier for humanity to control. In the jungles of South America, soldiers trained with the alien drones Ilara had left behind, learning how to control and use them for defense. The world was coming together. Earth was ready. Back into the vault, Ilara spoke with Helix. The Aeon, they want us to fight, but I don't think it's just for them. They're testing us for something else. Something bigger. Helix processed the information. It is possible. The Aeon are not enemies, but they may be preparing Earth for something we do not yet understand. Ilara's voice was steady, but filled with purpose. Then we have to be ready. We are Earth's only hope. As she turned to leave the room, her mind raced. The Zarnak weren't the only threat. And now, the Aeon had arrived. An ancient force that had been watching Earth for centuries. The galaxy was changing, and Ilara Stone would lead the way. The air was thick with tension. Above Earth, the Aeon ships moved into a perfect circle, their massive forms shadowing the planet. Every nation on Earth watched the sky, waiting for something to happen. News broadcasts across the world played nothing but images of the looming ships, each one more terrifying than the last. Ilara Stone stood at the edge of her ship's bridge, staring out at the sky. She could feel the weight of this moment. The Aeon had arrived, not as enemies, but as judges, and Earth was their test. Helix's voice broke her thoughts. The Aeon have begun their countdown. They will begin the trial soon. Ilara turned to face her eye companion. What kind of trial? We don't know, Helix replied. The Aeon are ancient. Their methods are unpredictable. But the fact that they are still here means they see potential in Earth. Ilara clenched her fists. I will make sure Earth passes their trial. I can't afford to fail now. On the ground, leaders from around the world gathered in secret. Military generals, government officials, and scientists. All of them knew what was at stake. Earth's survival, its future in the galaxy, depended on how they responded to the Aeon. At the United Nations headquarters, world leaders gathered around a holographic table, each one staring anxiously at the sky. A leader from Africa spoke first. We've survived Zarnak, but these Aeon are unlike anything we've seen. They are not like the invaders. They've come to test us. We must show them that we are worthy of survival. A Chinese general nodded. We need to be united. If the Aeon see division, they will take it as a sign of weakness. Earth has never faced anything like this. But there were voices of doubt. What if they are not here to help us? A Russian diplomat asked. What if we are their next target? Another diplomat, from Brazil, spoke with confidence. We have Ilara Stone. She's already proven Earth can fight back. We must follow her lead. If the Aeon are watching, then we must show them that Earth will not kneel. Back in the vault, Ilara prepared for what was to come. Her ship was already ready. She would lead the first mission to meet the Aeon. This was her chance to show the galaxy that Earth was not weak, that they would not be ruled by others. Helix, what's the status of the Aeon's countdown? They are starting the trial now. There will be no turning back once it begins. Ilara felt a chill. This was the moment where Earth either succeeded or failed. The countdown began. Trial of the new world. Earth, prove your worth. Suddenly, the Aeon ships released a beam of light, shooting down toward Earth. It was so powerful that it lit up the entire sky, blinding everyone on the surface. For a brief moment, the world was silent. No one knew what was happening. Then the ground shook. A massive energy field spread across Earth, sweeping from one side of the planet to the other. Cities trembled. Oceans swelled. Ilara's heart raced. The trial had begun. Back on Earth, chaos erupted. The energy field twisted the atmosphere, creating violent storms and extreme weather patterns. Tornadoes formed out of nowhere. Earthquakes rattled entire continents, and cities were thrown into darkness as power grids failed. But the most terrifying part, the Aeon had designed it so that no one knew what came next. Ilara didn't hesitate. She activated her ship and took off toward the eye of the storm, the center of the energy field where the Aeon's test would be held. As she flew, she could see the chaos below, the planet being torn apart in real time. But amidst the destruction, something stirred. The Guardians, the mysterious fleet that had appeared to Earth, took action. They launched a counter-offensive, sending drones and small ships to help manage the damage. They weren't fighting back the Aeon, but they were protecting Earth's people. Ilara felt her resolve harden. She had to pass this test. Earth had to prove itself. Her ship flew at unimaginable speeds toward the center of the energy storm. But as she approached, the atmosphere around her ship began to distort. Waves of energy lashed out, striking her hull, but her ship held strong. Then she saw it. A massive Aeon ship appeared before her, its surface glowing like a star. This was the moment. She would meet the trial head-on. The voice of the Aeon leader spoke again, echoing in Ilara's mind. "You faced the trial of endurance, Ilara Stone. Will Earth endure, or will it fall like so many before it?" Ilara's voice was steady. "Earth will endure. I will make sure of it." As the battle raged on below, Ilara's ship docked with the Aeon flagship. She stepped onto the deck of the enemy ship, feeling the weight of history. All eyes were on her. The Aeon leader, still hidden in shadow, stood before her. "You have come far, Earth's protector. But now we will see if you are worthy." Ilara stared back, her voice strong. "We are worthy. We've survived the impossible. We will survive this, too." The Aeon leader raised his hand, signaling that the test was over. The trial of endurance has ended. And then, in a flash, the energy storm stopped. The skies cleared. The Earth began to heal.